really remember what happened. All of the children just died. Let me just tell you. No. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cassandra here, and today we have our February wrap up, okay? Guys, I knew that I was very overestimating myself with my TBR. So if you guys seen it, if you guys seen my video, it was just very, I had a plan and then someone said something. People said they were rereading A Quart of Mist and Fury and Wings and Ruin before Our Best Friend came out. So I decided to throw those in there, and I actually ended up reading this one as well. So I've read A Quart of Mist and Fury, A Quart of Wings and Ruin, and A Quart of Silver Flames extra. Like, that was not on my TBR. So get yourself a cup of coffee or tea. I actually have a very cute mug that is from the Warner Bros. Studio in London. I don't know if it's in London. I don't know. I went to the Harry Potter world with Gran a couple of years back, and that's my mug. So I am just drinking coffee. I'm going to start with my audiobook, and I have been really trying to stick to at least one audiobook every single month. There's two that are a little bit longer, so I'm like dipping in and out. I actually started a second one. So the first one that I wanted to mention, it was Incandescent, I think that's how it's called. It was a smutty romance, and it is all about this teacher. She bumps into a one of her like children dad, and he is like this biker dude that, it's not a gang, but I don't know how you call those people that are like in a motorcycle gang people kind of thing. I don't know. He's not like a hustler or anything like that. They just use bikes. They have a couple of businesses. They're rough around the edges kind of thing. So it is their first meeting, and then they are kind of, it's a smut, okay? It's a smutty book. They meet in a bar. They're complete opposites, and they go in and out, and there is something to do with her. She has a couple of burns on her body, and it was due to an accident that she had a couple of years back where her fiance left for a night, and she woke up and barely survived by being burned. And one of the guys that was going through with her through the like therapy afterwards was actually one of Nyx's, which is, or not Phoenix, Nyx is the guy's name, Nyx's friend. So it's like the whole friendship. There's some family dynamic. The book was, I gave a 3.5 stars. Again, if you're reading it for smut, it was fine for smut. I would say it was about 4-star for smut. It wasn't my favorite, maybe because he just wasn't like my cup of tea. And the story wasn't the best, but I know they have other parts to it, so I feel like I might keep on listening to them, so we will see. I read A Quart of Mist and Fury, and I have listened, have annotated and read it along. Then I read and so it was a 5-star. It's my second time rereading or third time rereading. Loved it as always. Loved the smut in it. All-time fave. Okay, they are one of my favorite all-time favorite series. Then we've read A Quart of War. What the heck? What is with me in the war? A Quart of Wings and Ruin. And again, I think that was only my second time reading it, and I feel like I've flown through so much in the first time that there was actually a fair few things that I forgot about. So it was great, and I gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I must say that I think the second book is my favorite. So Mist and Fury, I think it's my favorite, because I just like, once they get together, that's when I kind of don't like it. Like, I always root for the couple to get together. I never just want to follow their story later. So, but again, 5 stars. And then we went in and we had our special guest of the month, which is A Quart of Silver Flames. And I must say I gave it 4 stars simply because I like the conclusion. But if you guys have seen my video that I posted, I was not the biggest fan of the main character. I like that it was character driven. I just did not like the main character. And without spoiling it, it was a solid read for 750 pages. It would have been better if it was like 300. So, but I read it, I've enjoyed it. I've read Lock Every Door, and that was actually the first book that I've read this month, and I already made a video about it and reading vlog, and it was absolutely amazing. It was like a thriller. There's a girl and she gets this apartment sitting job in this prestigious apartment building. There's some billionaires, there's some like some old school Hollywood stars living there, and she's going to get about $4,000 a month for staying in that house. But there are some rules. You can't take any pictures or let anyone kind of know what the inside of the house is. 2, you're not allowed to have any guests. You're not allowed to spend any nights away, and you shouldn't interact with any, oh, hold up, I have something in my eye. And you shouldn't interact with any of the other people that live there. But she is told that the owner has passed away recently and they need a sitter, when the family is kind of fighting who's going to live in there. So that's not true. We find out that there were other sitters and things that are happening. There's other sitters in the buildings currently, and the plot twist and everything, wild. 4 stars for me, which means a solid read. I enjoyed it. I would recommend to a friend. Next one was Violent Beginnings, and that was recommended to me. And that one was brutal. It's supposed to be smutty book, but it also was like a mafia bit in there. The girl is bought, if I recall. And yeah, so I think he buys her, takes her to her house, but simply because she looks exactly like the girl that he was in love with, and she passed away because of him, or she was murdered because of him. But also was kind of a setup on her part, because whatever, something to do with her sister. To be completely honest, I gave it a 2 stars. It was highly recommended on one of the book group chats on Facebook that I am a part of. It just wasn't for me. 1, because I didn't really recall that much out of it. 2, I don't really remember what happened. And 3, I think it just disturbed me too much. Like the idea of someone buying, like, I get it, the smutty books a lot of the time they're already, you know, a taboo topic, something I would never stand for in real life. But that one was just like, it was not my cup of tea. And then he expected her to be forever loyal because he bought her. Yeah. No. Was Suffer the Children. Guys, again, a very solid 4.5 star read. Suffer the Children, we already have a video for it, and it was a wild ride. It's a horror book that starts with, there's this it's not a virus, they call it a, I don't know, let's call it virus. So all of a sudden, one day, we were talking from like 5 different parent perspectives or so, and one day all of the children just die. If you are under the puberty age, you just died. And then the kids, all of a sudden, you know, we go through people freaking out. The entire world is going into, imagine everything that we do that is fueled to be provided for children. That being clothes, books, nurseries, schools, everything. We're talking everything. We are obviously trying to get kids to, in, you know, 10, 15, 20 years, take care of us. So now we have nothing. Even the kids that were in the womb, they would pass away. And then we have, I think 3 days later or so, the kids wake back up and the whole story kind of begins. And I expected it to be a zombie book, and it wasn't. It had twists, turns, and it kind of shows how far are people actually willing to go for their kids. So very good. Jordaline reads, she was the one to recommend, and as always, she is the queen. She always has a great reads, so love that. The last one is Vlad, and there's 2 other books, and I did put them on my March TBR, but I don't know if I'll get to them. So Vlad was just it's a Russian mafia person, and let me just tell you, because we're probably going to be talking about the 2 other books, because it was a very quick read, I really enjoyed it, because I feel I could do the book 2 and 3 like in next 2 days, and you know, great. Anyways, so Vlad is the eldest in his family. So his family is like a top of a food chain in Russia. They do human trafficking, they do drugs, they do whatever else, guns and stuff like that. So in their world, guys are to be the businessman, and the women in their lives are basically sold off or married to, so they can one spy to be the property of the guy. So Vlad is to be married to Diana, who is in her 20s. She's like a boss ass bitch because her dad doesn't have any sons, and she's the one to be taking care of his company. Obviously, if she marries Vlad, then he will be running it, but because she is highly regarded for being a businesswoman, it seems like they're going to get on quite well. Diana has a sister called Irina, and Irina always had a crush on Vlad. And he's like, listen, ain't nothing gonna happen because I'm gonna marry your sister. But also, he's an alpha male and he does not want anything or anyone to be touching her either. And it's kind of like the story between all of them. There's a betrayal, there's cheating, there's even mention of gay people, which in that universe, those dads of those boys are, no, one gets killed off, the other one gets sent off far, far away. I'm spoiling it because it's literally 2 pages and you find that out. So that's great. I gave it 3.5 stars. Again, it wasn't great. I feel like I compare every smutty book to the Sinners of the Saints, which is the Vicious series, because I feel like they build the world so well in there. Like, you could kind of imagine it. You tagged along with all the guys, and I loved it. As much as I hated what was happening, I loved the stories, and it's something that I would happily reread or re-listen to. So Vlad wasn't as good. The story ended up how I thought it would. That's why I gave it 3.5 stars. It was also a very quick read. So that was it. With that being said, cheers. I am also halfway through a self-love experiment, which is a non-fiction book, and it's all about self-love and self-empowerment. And I don't know if I read anything else. I am halfway through again with Why Men Love Bitches, but it's just something that I dip in and out of depending on my schoolwork. So there's another book I started on depression, which is Shoot the Damn Dog, because it was for my assignment. So I used what I needed for my assignment, and I do want to finish it off, but it's not like urgent, I need to finish it now. Therefore, didn't make it to this list. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you have read in February. That was my February wrap up. I can't believe that it wasn't as bad as I expected that I'm going to miss. Those are the books that I kind of missed out. I know I wanted Bird Box and something else I wanted. I think it was, I don't know. I know that I've missed 1 or 2 books from February TBR, and I don't know if they're going to be transferred to March. But we will see. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop me a comment down below on what you've read in February, and until the next time, I will talk to you guys soon.